So recently, some people are saying Meghan Markle used Charles and Catherine's health problems to boost her brand in the US. It stirred up quite the talk. Even the royal family is feeling the heat, and it's causing all sorts of ripples. Let's dive into this in today's video. Hello friends, welcome to the King YouTube channel. So Meghan Markle recently launched a new lifestyle brand, and some folks are saying there's a shady reason behind it. They're accusing her of taking advantage of the royal family's tough times to make herself look better. The brand's called American Riviera Orchard, and it just popped up on Instagram and a website. But here's the kicker: it came out right before Prince William was set to speak at an event honoring Princess Diana. Talking to Daily Express, royal expert Robert Jobson said Meghan knows what she's up to. Plus, there's talk that her new business might be breaking some rules about using royal titles for profit. I'm not really feeling this whole launch thing. Honestly, I'm not expecting it to go well considering Meghan Markle's track record. I'm sure many others feel the same way. Why would I want to support her after everything she's done, especially how she treated the royal family and Britain on Oprah and Netflix? Sure, she might have hundreds of thousands of followers for this new thing, but let's think about it. The UK has over 66 million people, and the US has over 333 million. Hundreds of thousands isn't exactly a huge number. And surprise, surprise, it seems like this new venture isn't doing as great as expected. At first I thought it was a joke. Meghan Markle selling jam and mugs. Quite a downgrade from royal life, isn't it? I bet it's going to be just like her podcast series all about herself. The only thing she's good at is shedding that one tear and searching for a camera. It's like Meghan's banking on the fact that the royal family won't say anything. Can you imagine the media frenzy if they did? They're stuck between a rock and a hard place. Meghan's playing it smart, and Harry seems to be cheering her on. I don't get why Charles is tolerating this, but considering his health, maybe he just doesn't have the energy to deal with them right now. I'm still scratching my head over what American Riviera Orchard even means. There's nothing about Meghan or her new stuff that grabs my attention. Plenty of others have done similar things without the whole look at me vibe. Nothing Meghan does interests me. She's so shallow and self-centered, and it's just wrong how she's taking advantage of the royal family's struggles to push her own agenda. So heartless, so uncaring. Classic Meghan Markle, I guess. King Charles's vulnerability is just giving them more reason to exploit the situation. Harry should feel ashamed, but he probably doesn't. As for King Charles and the rest of the royals, Meghan Markle and Harry are fading into irrelevance by the day. Those 350,000 Instagram followers, they're not legit. They just hopped on to check out Harry, and they'll probably never come back. They're not real fans. It hasn't been around long enough to build a real following. It's a joke, really. And that's one of my gripes with Instagram. You can't tell the difference between a one-time visitor and a die-hard fan who logs in every day. Right now, everyone in Britain is waiting for King William to step in. He's going to deal with Meghan and Harry once and for all, and Harry knows it. He knows what they're up against when William takes charge. That's why they're trying to make a quick getaway. It's time for people to demand that Parliament strip them of their titles. Maybe Meghan isn't worried about King Charles, but she should be concerned about the people of Britain. Sure, she might make some money, but she's never going to be a billionaire. She should have just stayed in the US and stuck with acting. Maybe she could have found a better gig. But here she is, having to sell herself once again. How many times can one person rebrand themselves, really? Nobody's interested in what she's peddling. As for the royal family, they should just treat this like another one of their stunts and ignore it. Don't give Meghan the satisfaction of a reaction. Sure, there might be some initial buzz after the launch, but like before, once people realize it's all hype and no substance, it'll die down. And Meghan? She's not really afraid of anything because she always has that victim card to play. She knows nobody wants to mess with that. It's her ace in the hole. But unfortunately for her, she had to marry someone who's a bit of a joke to play that card. One silver lining for the people of Britain is that Harry and Meghan are living in the US now, so they don't have to hear as much about them. And when they do hear something, it's usually about Harry and Meghan making fools of themselves. Personally, I'm not a fan of Meghan, but I do hope they move on to a real career instead of making money by causing trouble for the royal family. Whether Meghan's scared of the royals or not, she should know that the people of the UK won't tolerate anyone disrespecting the Queen and making Prince Philip's last years miserable. Both of them should be ashamed. Meghan didn't care about Prince Philip's health during that Oprah interview or the Queen's health when she kept rejecting invitations. Nothing's going to stop Meghan from taking advantage of the royal family's medical troubles. It's just who she is. I also think Meghan's feeling bold because Charles has been too lenient. It's about time he put his foot down. If he continues to ignore Harry and Meghan, people will start to question whether King Charles and Prince William really have the country's best interests at heart. It'll make folks think they're just fancy folks who support the World Economic Forum agenda, which isn't great for regular folks like us. Their ties to that organization show they're more interested in lining their pockets than caring about people. It's kind of funny to see how far they've fallen. Why should the royal family even care about Meghan selling coffee and jam? If people want to shell out big bucks for a tiny jar of jam or a bag of coffee, well, that's up to them. Maybe Meghan's secretly dreaming of being queen one day and Harry will be the king. The royal family is there to serve the people, and they're reminded of that every single day. They're judged and held accountable by the British public, as we've seen recently. They don't even get to recover in private after major surgery, like Catherine. The rest of us have that freedom, but Harry still expects everything to revolve around him and Meghan. Harry, it's time to wake up and smell the coffee. The royal family is as strong as ever and shows no signs of falling apart. King Charles is undergoing cancer treatment, and Princess Catherine of Wales is successfully recovering from surgery. Meghan's trying yet another rebrand because all the others flopped, and she's clinging to that title because without it, she's nobody. She's been snubbed by listers, and let's face it, politics was never her thing. Now, if every photo of the royal family gets scrutinized before it's published, then the same should go for Harry and Meghan, right? They style themselves a certain way, monetize their connections, so they need to be held accountable too. Meghan should be feeling pretty nervous because sooner or later, all sorts of skeletons will come tumbling out of the closet, and it'll be bigger than a weird finger, a hairstyle, or a zipper malfunction. Unless, of course, certain photo agencies aren't too keen on a retrospective analysis. In a recent promo video, Meghan Markle is playing the role of Betty Homemaker, arranging white roses, baking in her kitchen, and fussing over her dog in her extravagant Montecito McMansion. Sure, we're supposed to believe it's all genuine, but let's be real. Is this really her home, or just another borrowed one for the cameras? Meghan's never been afraid of the royals because she knows they won't publicly retaliate. But the Sussexes have already done a great job damaging their reputations, showing their true colors. This video won't do much to boost her image. If she thinks this is the solution, she's looking in the wrong direction. It's just another smoke and mirrors brand. This seems like another half-hearted business venture from Meghan Markle. She's just slapping her name and title on products without putting in any real effort. Honestly, I'm not even sure what she's selling: pots and pans, jam, other people's stuff. Meghan will probably make a few flashy videos pretending to cook while Harry's in the background juggling lemons, hoping Netflix renews their contract in 2025. We'll have to wait and see, but I doubt Harry and Meghan will be pleased. As for Meghan being scared of the royal family, I don't think most people even want her to fear them. She should just show them some respect, but she's always finding ways to be rude and disrespectful, especially about their titles. I'm starting to care less and less about those titles. Fine, let her keep them. She's made them completely meaningless anyway. It's all just a joke now. This latest stunt is pretty amusing, but the agreement was not to use the titles for financial gain. When you can't even respect the most basic agreements, how can anyone take you seriously in business? It has nothing to do with the Windsors. There's room for everyone in this world, but you shouldn't climb up by stepping on others. Live your life, sure, but don't do it by ruining other people's lives, or you're bound to fail. Meghan Markle was recently accused of taking advantage of Charles and Catherine's illnesses to promote her brand in the US. How do you feel about Meghan's decision? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the King YouTube channel for now. Goodbye, and I'll see you again.